5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to Westchester Jewish Community Services. As a leading agency in providing a comprehensive spectrum of human services, we have been helping people since 1943. We serve all people in Westchester County, regardless of age, income, or ethnicity. We provide a wide variety of essential and dynamic services that make a difference in people's lives. Children, teens, adults, and senior citizens are served by our network of programs located throughout the county. When people come to us for assistance, they become part of the WJCS family. Our highly trained and skilled staff focus on you and your family and are committed to becoming your partner in finding solutions. For more than half a century, we have been connecting people to services that help them overcome mental, physical, or emotional challenges. WJCS is here in your community when you need us.
Welcome to the Ways We Care of Westchester Jewish Community Services. I'm Dale Wang, Director of Community Relations. WJCS is funded by UJA Federation, United Way, government grants, private individuals, foundations, and corporations. If you were not directly affected, it is likely that you did not pay much attention to the clock that has been quietly ticking away over the past 5 years for people who receive public assistance funds. The Welfare Reform Act in 1997 created major initiatives to help people move off the welfare rolls and into the workforce. Adults receiving government support were given a 5-year lifetime limit for getting welfare assistance, which, if used up consecutively, began ending for many people in December 2001. The Welfare to Work effort successfully helped about a half of the people on the Westchester Department of Social Services caseload to attain some degree of self-sufficiency. But as the timer winds down, nearly 6,000 people still depend upon public funds for basic necessities. Tonight, we are going to discuss the current state of welfare reform in Westchester County and look at 2 WJCS programs that are helping women and families to become more independent. In our first half, we have invited, and we are happy to have us joining again, Deputy Commissioner Dennis Packard from the Westchester County Department of Social Services. Welcome, Dennis. And he will help us understand the county's welfare system, I hope. And Sheila Rabideau. Sheila, welcome again. WJCS Assistant Executive Director for Home Health Services. And you'll be giving us an insight into our new program to train home care workers. So, Dennis, let's begin by giving a brief history of the welfare reform system and how it has evolved over the past several years.
Sure. In 1996, Congress passed legislation that created the program that's now known as Temporary Assistance to Needy Families. That program had several provisions to it that related to the changes, the core changes that took place in public welfare. The critical change, the one you mentioned earlier, the clock, basically says that adult members of family assistance cases who use time on assistance for each month they are on, that month ticks away to a 60-month lifetime limit that travels with them wherever they go in the nation. Westchester County, in August of '97, when New York State passed its enabling legislation, had 10,172 cases receiving federally funded assistance. As of December 2nd, 2001, that number is now down to 5,700. The customers that have been on public assistance during that time comprise a variety of characteristics. Some are ready for work, some have barriers that are short-term, medical, psychiatric problems, some have problems with their children that create temporary barriers, and some have barriers that are far more long-term. The department's focus is to look at each family, assess that family for what those barriers are, develop programs that will work with them to eliminate those barriers or reduce them significantly so that they can perform some sort of work or work-related activity, which can include things like job search, job readiness training, vocational training, or work experience assignments.
So there seems, I guess, as that clock was ticking down, I mean, at the end of 2001, people were talking about the concern and a little bit of sense of panic that there are still people left, and what will be the impact for those who have used up their time?
In New York State, the benefit levels are established by the State Department that oversees that, which is the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, and enacted by the New York State Legislature. So the benefit levels to families that are receiving federally funded assistance is no different than the benefit levels that are received by those families when they convert to the safety net program. And that's what we're talking about.
So safety net is the new term, that's the New York State program that is helping people
That's correct.
adjust.
Article 17 of the New York State Constitution says that the state is responsible for the care and safety of the needy. On that basis, when a family assistance case uses up its 60 months, it does not go off public assistance. It does not see any diminution in the benefits payable to the household. The category of the case is changed, and the process is relatively seamless to the person. There's no reduction in their Medicaid coverage and no change in their food stamps. What does change is the department is required under the regulations to now pay that portion of their grant that is for rent directly to their landlord, and if they're responsible for paying utilities or fuel costs, to pay those amounts directly to that energy supplier.
So in a sense, what the person on public assistance is left with is less discretionary dollars, perhaps.
Yes, it's the same base amount, but it's not in their hands to choose how much to pay or when they will make that payment. But the important factor that goes hand in hand with this is while the case converts to safety net and there's no longer a federal portion or a federal dollar contributing toward that expenditure, the services that we provide to that family for daycare, for job training, and for any other type of service that we employ to help them move from public assistance to self-sufficiency still can tap into federal reimbursement.
Oh, so that if they do need additional supports, those can come through federal funds.
That's right.
Okay. Now, do people have to reapply to be eligible for safety net?
New York State implemented a process which we've tried to make as seamless as possible. They require a supplemental application form, which is basically a one-page form where the client is asked, or the customer I should say, is asked to indicate their intent to apply for safety net assistance. We have executed that process in conjunction with our routine contacts with those families to make that process as simple for that family as possible. So they complete that one-page form, and then once they have done that and they are a safety net customer, there are 2 additional requirements that are unique to the safety net program, and they have to do with the repayment of overpaid benefits and an acceptance by the customer to a garnishee of any earnings to recover overpaid public assistance benefits.
How would someone have obtained overpaid public assistance?
For example, when they were in receipt of assistance, they failed to pay their rent, and they used that money for a purpose other than the rent payment. So the department chose to make an additional payment to forestall an eviction. That's considered a duplication of assistance, and that money would then be subject to recovery.
Okay, I don't think we should get too technical. I'd like to talk a little bit about the work-first design that Westchester County implemented to try to help people obtain jobs rather than go through extensive training or other systems.
Okay. As I said a moment ago, our focus is to assess each individual because no one process fits any one person. So we created what we call the cornerstones of workforce development. The first step is to assess the customer, look at their educational background, look at their employment history, look at their family circumstance, look at any medical or psychiatric issues they might have, and look at what their vocational interest is and what their career interest is. The second step is to assist the person in finding a job, and we do that by supporting the person through a job search effort that can be done under contract with both with for-profit and not-for-profit companies. Once we help someone get a job, the next step is to help that person keep that job. And we have created one of the most unique systems in the nation. It is a group of staff who work non-traditional hours, whose assignment is to do whatever they can to ensure that a customer who has been on public assistance, who has secured employment, keeps that job, and does not come back to the Department of Social Services unless it's absolutely necessary. They operate on a 24/7 schedule. They operate out of home, and they will do anything they can to assist the customer. So all of our efforts are focused at retention. The fourth step in the process is skills enhancement to increase salary or increase career opportunities. And that we do in conjunction with all of our training programs and our one-stop, where customers can go and obtain assistance with vocational skills training or those specialized skills that they might need to advance in their position. For example, people who work in secretarial areas may be very interested in computer skills, and the certifications they can get in Microsoft applications can increase their salary demand.
Mm-hmm. So you would be able to help those people take the time? Does the clock stop ticking?
No, unfortunately, while they're on public assistance, even when working customers are receiving only a supplemental benefit, the clock still ticks on them. And that's something that we have been suggesting to our federal delegation that we would like to see changed in the TANF rules. We'd like to see it if a customer is employed, say working, for example, at least 25 hours a week, that the clock should not tick on that customer. They did everything that we asked them to do, and perhaps because of the amount of the salary, the size of their family, or some other circumstance, they can't work more hours. But the clock still does tick. But for the customer who leaves the roles, we can provide a myriad of support services that'll help them keep their job and help them enhance their skills.
Mm-hmm. Now, for the remaining people, you mentioned some of the people who are still less able to be employed at the beginning. What are some of the barriers that are interfering with these clients' ability to enter the workforce?
For a number of people, they are multiple in levels. There may be children who have learning disabilities, have attention deficit issues, behavioral problems in school that are constantly pulling the parent away to deal with those issues, and that impacts their ability to go out and hold down a job over a long term. Individuals have histories of mental illness or histories of substance abuse, and they're recovering in that process, and that can be a very start-stop kind of effort that has short durations in employment, and then the person is back on assistance because they couldn't manage the stressors of work. We also have individuals who may themselves have latent learning disabilities that were never exposed historically, that we're trying to get a handle on with that customer. And the choices that we'll make with the customers that remain is that it may be feasible and it may be the best thing to engage these people in vocational training programs for the short period of time on the front end and continue to work with them and then move them into a job search effort. And in the long run, those months we leave people like that on assistance may in fact be beneficial for the time it takes to deal with that and then the time that they're gone once they are successful at getting a job.
Mm-hmm. But there may be at the end of the day some number of people who really cannot be employed, and they would not lose all their benefits.
Absolutely not. I think the critical point is that what we have to approach this on is any degree of self-sufficiency that we can generate to whatever the person's capacity is the right thing to do. And if customers need to stay with us, they need to stay with us. They will not be treated by the system any differently and we will support any effort they put out in that direction. We don't place individuals in situations that really are beyond their ability to cope with.
Okay. I want to give Sheila a chance to talk about a very exciting program that she initiated with answering a New York State Department of Health call for proposals for a very exciting training program at WJCS. Sheila, you want to tell us about your new baby?
Bottom line is that New York State and Westchester County in particular needs home care workers. The RFP was divided into three different groups: hospital workers, nursing home, and home care. On the home care side, because we need home health because of the aging of everybody, and including in Westchester, there are job opportunities. And without the training, they can't work as home care workers within agencies. So we looked at and spent a lot of time with folks at DSS, folks at the Department of Labor, and different training site and educational facilities throughout the county to see what is it we could do with the population to be served, exactly the same population that Dennis just talked about, but also including TANF eligible by way of income and family size, who aren't necessarily on the rolls right now, who are interested in becoming home care workers, home health aides in particular. We partnered with a number of other home care agencies to provide training, job opportunities once they're trained. But starting at the very beginning, we will pattern a team similar to the retention team, where the job is 24/7. It's not a 9 to 5, where people who understand the problems that people are dealing with, whether it's a child who has mental illness, ADD, or they're dealing with parents, or they're dealing with the everyday life that they just can't cope. And when you think about getting 6 children out to daycare so that you can get a job, sometimes it gets overwhelming.
Right.
So it's almost, we're calling them life care managers, so that there isn't anything out in this realm of life that these people won't be able to deal with and help the customer deal with. And then the next step is to provide the assessment, the remediation. We know we'll find people that will not be able to pass the home health aide course. It takes at least a 6th grade reading level in English to be able to pass the course. So to provide remediation through some of our other programs, either in groups, and it could be with BOCES, it could be with the community college, it could be one-on-one. We know through experience that we have a number of staff that have gone through some of the GED type courses and just can't make it. And so we pulled in the Learning Center to do one-on-one tutoring, because these people are smart people and they can get it if the learning situation is right.
Right.
Once they're trained, and the training will be non-traditional. I mean, we're certainly required to provide everything that the Department of Health approves in our training program, but it could be on Saturdays. It could be 2 evenings a week, so that particularly if they're working in another job and they're interested, we want people that are interested in caring for people, that we're as flexible as possible to provide the services that they need. After they're trained, almost in a job coach manner, we'll have, with the 6 other agencies we've partnered with, that will be providing job opportunities, 4 aides that are the seasoned A-group aides that you would send anywhere. We'll train them to be mentors. And for a while, that person, the trainee, will be partnered with a seasoned aide. That agency won't lose any money. won't be paying double for the same case. The aide salary, the trainee salary will come out of the grant. And the aide who is the mentor will get a stipend to assist in, I mean, because it's not going to be easy.
Right.
And to help coach this person through and encourage them, support them in their work. After they've been on a job for 6 months, they get an incentive to remain on the job. One of the most exciting pieces about it is that we have a number of aides who are currently working, who really fall within the TANF income guidelines and are interested in becoming LPNs. We're not talking about the nursing shortage right now, but it's horrible. And to try and find nursing staff to hire, particularly from people who have a very good work ethic. Unfortunately, if they don't work, their families don't eat.
Right.
So we built into it an educational leave, as long as they're TANF eligible, an educational leave so that they can leave their job, not lose any pay or benefits, including medical, and go to school with the remediation, if need be, and obtaining a GED.
So these people would basically be having to get up to a level where they might be eligible for a 2-year college course.
11,
Right.
they need to have a reading level of 11th grade in order to pass the LPN entrance exam. And then it's an 11-month program, and there are several different programs that they can avail themselves of. If they want to work additional hours, they certainly could work afternoons, evenings, weekends, when school's not in session.
Let's go back just for a second. The basic home health aide training program is 72 hours?
Yes, ours is, yes.
That is.
Yes.
But people will not only be doing it through WJCS.
No. They will have an opportunity to train through any of the other 6 partners that we've partnered with. We basically sent out a letter to almost every agency in Westchester that has a contract with Department of Social Services, and said this is what we were planning on doing, and asked if they were interested in doing it. And would they be interested? I mean, we wanted to develop jobs for people to go to, so that they weren't just WJCS staff. We wanted to give them an opportunity to spread out through the county.
One of the other interesting aspects of this, I think, too, is that you put into the grant money for transportation. And what was so critical about that? We hear every day, and I'm sure people that live in the northern part of Westchester, and by the north, it's anything north of 287, I need care and I can't get anybody. We hear it every day. A large percentage of our aides live in the southern tier of the county and have to take a bus. Could be 2 hours, 2.5 with Metro North, a taxi to get, and even though our agency provides transportation money, a lot of agencies don't. And if you're taking a 2.5-hour ride up and a 2.5-hour ride back, well, it doesn't leave a whole heck of a lot of time to work. So we built in some van transportation and drivers so that we can coordinate pick up and drop off, so that job opportunities open up in the north and people that are living in the northern part of the county have access to home care that right now is very difficult. Okay, you won't believe it, but we only have 3.5 minutes left. And what I'd like to do, I know that you two will be working together because there are some things in terms of collaborating on the availability of childcare, things like that. How do you help people access those supports that will help them get through these kinds of programs and, you know, once they are working, help them make a life for themselves on public assistance?
Clearly, one of the first things we do with customers that are exiting the system because they found employment is to advise them about the availability of transitional child care and transitional medical assistance. We advise children about the Child Health Plus program and the new Family Health Plus program. We also try with organizations like WJCS and every other training program we have to make sure they all know about it as well. Getting this information out, getting the word out so that people know it's there is the most critical thing. It's easy to get once you know about it.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to be recruiting, I guess, Sheila, and we'll start now. And maybe you can tell people how they can get in touch with you and who, in 1 minute, tell them what you're looking for and how they can reach you.
We'll be hiring a project director, someone preferably with an MSW who has some background with this population, and 3 life care caseworkers. We're looking for people who have preferably been on welfare and have transitioned to working successfully into the community, who can really advise people. They've been there, they've done that, and they have knowledge. Those people will also be working with our other programs, with all the other DSS programs. They'll become very aware of what's available, and this will be a resource for their staff too.
And you'll be recruiting your potential home health aides from people who are coming off of DSS
Maybe,
or from
maybe
Department
not.
of Labor? Or just
This will be a very non-traditional. They'll be in laundromats. They'll be at community centers. It could very well be that we get referrals from social services, from some of the we've already gotten some for people that are interested in, particularly from the Peekskill area. So that we expect to get a number of referrals. All they have to do is call the office if people are interested in working. 761-0600. My extension is 312.
Okay.
And leave their name and number. And somebody, if not me, somebody will get back to them, and we'll go from there.
Okay, and Dennis, if you would just give us a number so that if people are interested in finding more about Safety Net and public assistance projects.
Sure. They can reach me at 995-5680, or they can call the general number in my office, which is 995-5400.
Okay. Well, I thank you both. I think it's very exciting to see people moving ahead and becoming more independent, and some very creative and compassionate ways of looking at how we help people move on to become self-sufficient. Thank you. Please stay tuned. We'll be talking to 3 people involved with the Different Start program of WJCS. Welcome back to the Ways We Care of Westchester Jewish Community Services. I'm Dale Wang, Director of Community Relations. WJCS is funded by UJA Federation, United Way, government grants, private individuals, foundations, and corporations. Tonight we have been looking at the status of the welfare reform system and how the Department of Social Services in Westchester County has created new supports to help people begin working and to achieve self-sufficiency. In our first half, we also learned about a new WJCS project that will help low-income women train as home care workers. In this segment, we will talk with a staff member and 2 program participants from WJCS's A Different Start, which educates and prepares women with young children to move into the work world. To introduce us to A Different Start, we will begin with social worker Donovan Guy. Welcome, Donovan. I'm very happy that you're joining us tonight. And 2 program participants, Priscilla McCrae.
Hi. Welcome,
Priscilla. Thank you for giving us your time. And Tyree Dunnican. Welcome, Tyree. Donovan, A Different Start has been with WJCS since 1994. Can you give us a little bit of an idea of what the program involves and how it helps women to develop academically and vocationally?
Yes, basically our program at A Different Start, we do a multitude of different things. We have a comprehensive program that we help young mothers with children actually get them better prepared for the workforce. And we do that through educational, basic computer skills. We also do job retention, job readiness. We do a lot of different programs talking about parenting, workshops. We do a variety of different skill building, building your resume, building your attitude about work. We do those kind of things to enhance their self-esteem so that they know that they can go out and get a job. And then the hard part, again, really and truly, is not getting the job, is retaining the job. So we do extensive workshops on how to retain jobs while after you get them.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the program, when people come into the program, they have a variety of needs.
Mm-hmm.
And you would start by assessing the level that someone's out academically.
Mm-hmm. Basically, we call it's a tape test. And basically, once we figure out what level an individual is on academically, then their academic enhancement is going to be tailored for their own purposes. Mm-hmm. And basically, every person, every young lady in our program is on a different level. So therefore, the teacher, who's I think, in my opinion, is very, very skilled. She knows exactly how to get the most out of the participants. And actually, I think a study has been shown that in our program, when a year goes by, a parent or a young woman, her academic grade goes up at least by 2 years.
Uh-huh.
So not only are we preparing them for the GED, we're also preparing them to learn more about themselves, more about what they can do, because not every person is going to be ready to take the GED at that particular time. Mm-hmm. But if they do go up 2 or even 3 grade levels, we consider that to be a success.
Oh, sure, that would be a tremendous success. And this is accomplished in both individual sessions and in group classes.
Yeah, and I find that actually we find that the group classes are more they're more dynamic actually, because the young women, they help each other. And in fact, I have a couple of the young ladies who are sitting beside me here. They know the system. So therefore, when I don't have a clue, I could always go to Priscilla or Tyree, and they would say, try this or try that. So the group dynamics is actually phenomenal. And I'm really and truly, and I know the director, Emily, probably would say the same thing if she was here. We are completely humbled at times when we're working with these young ladies. The resiliency that they show in terms of just getting up and just coming to our program. It's a voluntary program. There's no mandate, anything. They literally come because they want to. Mm-hmm. So we find, for them just to come through the door, we always say it's one big family when they come. In fact, I'm the only male person in the program.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
And in fact, these guys here are like my sisters and cousins, and they treat me so well. It's unbelievable. Sometimes I feel honored actually, just being able to help them. And they don't know it yet, but I'll tell them now probably for the first time. They help me a lot as well. Because when I see the successes, and I see them struggling and persevering and doing what they do best, tears come to my eyes sometimes when I think about it. Because if I had to do some of the things that I know that they do, I just couldn't do it.
Well, it's really hard, and I know, at least from last year, Tyree got most improved in math at the graduation ceremony, so that really certainly shows that people put a lot of effort into the program.
Absolutely.
Let's just go back a second. I'd like to hear a little bit about how people learn about the program and who is eligible.
Well, basically, eligibility is if we have a young lady that if she's on welfare and she has a child between age of 0 to 3, she's automatically eligible. Because we also provide daycare on site through WJCS. In terms of how do we get the recruits, we go on foot. We rely a lot on the young women for them to pass on the good word. In fact, a lot of referrals come from their referrals. They'll tell their friends or their cousins, say, go by to this program, and they'll help you with the academics. And we also do another great thing. We have a food pantry that we give allocations every week. And the young women, they look forward to that as well. But in terms of trying to recruit, basically it's a lot of footwork. We go to hospitals, We go to birthing centers, we go to laundromats, we go through the mall, we go downtown, Getty Square, and we just literally pass out flyers. And we do extensive mailing as well. But most of the clients, the success that I've gotten is from word of mouth or direct contact on the street.
And so you're basically looking for young women, women with young children, and people who are eligible, TANF eligible?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to move the emphasis a little bit to the work readiness portion, tell me a little bit about what you do in terms of developing job opportunities, and then I want to hear their actual experiences.
Well, basically, what I do is, as a social worker that handles the recruiting as well as the job retention and those kind of things, we try and make connections with a variety of different businesses in the area, like a Stu Leonard's, like a ShopRite, or KB Toy Store, and then we let them know through their supervisors or even the owners in most cases that we are there, and we do have several young women who are ready to work. And we also give them the additional carrot. We said, we'll be there, I'll be there as a conduit between them if there's some kind of issue. And a lot of the businesses, they like that because, for example, if a young woman started working and, she started coming late, I could be the person who's going to step in before termination becomes a part of the picture. But so they definitely like that. So we do have a couple of good connections in Stu Leonard's and Home Depot right now. When we send a lot of people that way. But
So you develop the jobs, you help people take internships. Are they internships or are they actual positions?
well,
when you get
actual
started?
positions, actually, especially during the holidays, we get a lot of holiday workers that turn into permanent work. The stores were really hiring during that time. So we go there and we let them know that we have this workforce that's ready to go. And I think for the most part, we've been pretty successful. We've placed some of our young ladies in some really good jobs. And in fact, one young lady we have right now, she was a participant in our program. Now she works at a daycare center. Because, and she started out by volunteering there. And then she worked so well with the children, she got asked by the director if she wanted to do part-time. And the part-time turned into full-time. So that's a tremendous success right there.
Right. Okay, let's take a little break and let's hear some of the actual stories about how a different start works. Priscilla, you want to tell us a little bit about how you found out about the program and how you've managed? You have 5 children, I hear.
I was at home and I wanted to do something different, and like later that day I went and checked the mailbox and got a brochure, and I had called and asked if I could come to the program.
And was it hard for you? You had, how many children did you have when you started? Was it
5.
5 children? How did you manage to handle placing your children and actually starting
Well,
a
from
program
working
like this?
before, I had child care. From working, since I don't receive any cash benefits, I receive rent from social services. And, I have to do little odd end things here, to take care of my kids. And, to take them back and forth to daycare and stuff like that.
Right. But what was it, since you were working, what was it about a different start that you felt would be of benefit to you?
Well, for me, I haven't been to school in a while since I had my oldest daughter. And it was going back there because it's more like a family setting, I haven't been to school in a long time, and it was more of like a family setting, people you can talk to, and just feeling comfortable there. Because I haven't been in school since I was 15 years old when I had my daughter. So going back, being in a classroom setting, everything was just totally different.
And one of your goals is are you looking to complete your GED and go on?
Yeah, I took the pre-test from not dropping out, not really. I dropped out, I think, in the 9th grade. And to go back after 9 years and sit in a classroom
that's really hard.
and have patience and, it was, and I passed the pre-GED test, and I wouldn't have did it without the help of the teacher because she helped me a lot. And if I wasn't comfortable, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just being comfortable and everybody there that helps you out, you know, like if you need food or maybe Pampers or things like that, just being somewhere to be comfortable, you know, when you can go to, especially as being an older mother, you know, like an older person, an older parent.
Right, right. You're currently working as a home health aide? Where you?
Yeah, I want to do something full-time, not, and plus I want to be a LPN, because to have 5 kids to do, you know, with just doing that work, you don't get offered, you know, not that many hours. And plus to have them, I have to, you know, work things out like that.
Right.
But I want to go further to be able to be making money, because for me, to be on public assistance just makes me feel, it makes me feel dirty. It makes me feel like I'm not doing anything for myself. You know, I want to go pay my bills with, sign off the checks and stuff like that. It just, I don't feel comfortable. I never have.
So you feel that with
I'm
this
not
as
even taking care of myself. It doesn't, you know, not even paying my own rent just doesn't make me feel comfortable at all.
Right. So this is a way to begin to get you to a higher level where you have more significant income.
Yeah.
And
And when, anytime that I have problems, you know, a different start, the program understands whoever I calls, or, you know, they help you with your problems and ask if there's anything they can do, and they'll do for you whatever that they can do. You know, my sister was having some problems where she's in a hospital, and Emily said she would drive me to go see my sister, and she came by and gave me a visit because I was feeling down, and she made me happy, and I brought my kids by to school, and they liked it. Yeah.
Now, you don't have any children in the family center,
No.
in the WJCS Family Center?
No.
Okay. Thank you. We'll get back to you. Tyree, tell me a little bit about how you got involved with the program, and you're a little bit younger mother. Yeah.
Well, I started a different start in 98, yeah. I started a different start in 98, and how I heard about the program was from my sister, because she used to go there, but then she started working, so, you know, she stopped. She had educational experience, you know, just to start her working, so she started working, and, like, she dropped the program, but then when I heard that, when I had started the program, it was, you know, I was kind of nervous, you know, just to, I was used to just being in school, like being with my friends and stuff like that. But it was like, when I started, it was a smaller classroom, and it was real good, because it started out with like 5 people, and this was in Cottage, in Yonkers, and it started like that. And the kids, the people there, well, you know, it was one teacher, and it was like 5 people there. And so, you know, it felt like a one-on-one thing, like you get attention from the teacher because it was like a one-on-one thing. And so, and they had a computer teacher there, you know, and that's what I really wanted. I wanted to learn computers, you know, and since I couldn't get that in my high school, since I didn't, you know, finish it, I felt that I was like, all right, so this program has computer teaching, so that's what I wanted to learn. All right, so as the program went on, it went to 99, and they moved up to St. Andrew's Place, and that's why it started there. And then, but I moved too. They moved and I moved. And so it was kind of hard. I moved all the way out to Central Avenue, so it was kind of hard for me to get there. But a different store had a donation, and they was able to get me to come there, like paying my cab and stuff there and back to my house and stuff, and I liked it that.
So you would be able to
So
continue.
I will be able to continue the program, yes, because I really did want to continue the program. And as throughout the program, I learned a lot of computer skills. I learned more math, you know, had my certificate and stuff, and I was real happy with that. Emily Golden, you know, she helped me a lot, because she like another mother to me, because she helps me with everything, you know. She'll basically do anything for me, and I really like that. She teach, you know, anytime you have problems, she teach you one-on-one things, like, you know, privacy, you know, from other people, you know, and from there, you know, once I graduated from the program in 2000, I think it was.
Right, 2000. Right.
2000, when I graduated from the program, my mother had passed away at that time, and I really, you know, I didn't want to dwell on it, like, you know, be depressed at home and stuff. I really wanted to continue on my education. So Donovan, and it was a girl named Raquel, she told me about the program, the cloud program, and I asked her what that was about. And and then I went through the brochure and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I wanted to try this out. So they set Donovan at the orientation, and so when we went to the orientation, they told us about the program, how it's gonna teach us computer skills, more to be in a workplace, a business communication class and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, so I want to do this. So I started that the following month. I graduated in June and started that in July, and ever since I've been in the program. And so far I learned Excel, Access, Word, and this semester we started HTML. That's to build your own website, and that's so far we're learning about now.
Now that cloud program, is that at Westchester Community College or Pace University?
That's at Pace University in White Plains on Martine Avenue.
Right. And there is a connection between that and DSS refers people to
yes.
the program.
They pay for the program, and when I start my associates, they pay for that too. But they don't pay for my 4-year. But I'm gonna start my own 4-year. But that's years and years away.
So they pay you. You are able to get full tuition to go through the cloud program, and child care is also available to you there.
Yeah. My son goes to the WJCS daycare. That's where he goes. Yeah.
And what are your goals? What do you hope to do? I know you're also doing an internship now, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I started my internship at Greystone Community Technology Center. It's a computer center. It looks like a computer center. It's like in a building where you wouldn't think that a computer center would be, but it's there. And right now, I'm basically learning to be an administrative assistant, even though I'm only 17. But I got a lot of skills. I already know a lot of skills, and there I help her do everything. I help her do her budget. I help her do her week, like the monthly attendance with the people that comes into the computer center. And also I help with the pre-K, like the daycare has a pre-K, and then they come over there and learn this program called Kid Picks, and that teaches you, like, it's like a mini version of PowerPoint, but it's a PowerPoint for kids. They create their own little slide, and then I create a slideshow for it, and it runs the slide for the kids. And I did a Christmas thing where they had made up their own slides, and then I put a little Christmas presentation on the computer for them, and that's what they did, and presented to their mothers and stuff like that. And then I print out their pictures, and they could take it to their mother or who they want to give it to.
So you're hoping to finish your AA degree and then to go on for a 4-year college degree. Well, both of you are just amazing. And I know that you both lost your mothers at young ages. I understand you did too, Priscilla. You really had to be on your own at a very young age. And now looking ahead, looking at, you mentioned that you don't want to be on welfare. What kind of struggles is it to succeed, with on your own at this?
Well, from growing up, I've been on, the news before for all our life, living in shelters with my mother, because it was 10 of us. But, waking up from early mornings from New Jersey, coming to Yonkers to go to school, and just, like, not wanting to be in a shelter or anything like that to take care of my kids. I wanted them to have things that I never had. And sometimes it's just hard because I have other little sisters and brothers, too, that's going through personal problems that I want to help them too, but I can't, And it's real hard.
Right.
Especially when my mother and my father both are dead. So, I just have to, some people say they can't take care of their kids. Those kids didn't have to be asked to be, in this world, so you have to take care of them.
Right.
So anytime I'm struggling or whatever and I'm having a hard time, I take my little personal moments, but I still tend to my kids, because that's what I'm supposed to do. But,
And Tyree, looking ahead now, you obviously, the welfare system's changed. You are not yet on public assistance, but you're not looking to be on public assistance.
I really just want to be on my own, not as away from my whole family and stuff like that, but I just want to be living on my own and take care of the stuff that I need to take care of. I know I'm young, but all the skills that I have, I know I can succeed, in this world, and with the skills that I do have, and taking care of my son is my one priority, number one priority. So that's what I look forward to, you know, getting a good job, getting paid very well. So, you know, and taking care of him. That's what I need to do. And with my mother passing away, it was hard, you know. I didn't really want to dwell on it that much, you know, but I know I would always think of her, you know, but the thing I was really focused on was my education, because that's what I really wanted to continue.
Well, certainly, I don't doubt that you both will be successful. Donovan, it must be incredible to be working with women who are really motivated. I think that what you're looking at is a voluntary program, as you said, and people are coming because they understand that they want to and need to and are going to move themselves along. You also are providing, we only have a couple of minutes left, but I'd like to hear a little bit about the parenting and nutrition programs and some of the things that...
Well, I just want to say before I go into that part, in terms of Emily, you know, they keep mentioning Emily.
Emily, I could go on about Emily, but in case she's watching, I don't want her to be embarrassed.
Well, let me tell you, Emily she's the director of our program.
Emily Golden.
And she is, if you see her, she's about 20 pounds wet, but she's got more energy than you could ever imagine. She's, in fact, if you look at a social worker up in the dictionary, her face is like smiling like that. That's Emily. She's terrific. And I know she wanted to say that she has a tremendous amount of respect for the people who are in our program, and she works tireless hours just trying to get them the things that they need to get. And then getting back to your question in terms of the nutrition piece, we actually bring in consultants to do nutritional workshops to talk about the importance of healthy eating for the moms, plus along with their children. Because we say if you read to your children and if you feed them the right things, then we can help to break that cycle, that chain that we call, you know, the chain of poverty. And I think the nutrition piece is key. And then, in fact, we bring in the consultant who actually, you guys cook meals, and in fact, they share with us also when they cook them. So we have a great eat along, and everybody just really, it's like you said, it's like a family. You know, so I'm very, very happy and humbled working with the young women that I'm working with, because, you know, as you hear the stories, it's just, you know, it's motivating.
Now, as people go out into the workforce, and I guess we're going to wind down, we only have 2 minutes, what will be the role you will help them with the job coaching, the job retention, and then do they graduate and go out?
Well, basically, once you're in a different start, and in fact, the name A Different Start is giving you a different start on life. But once you're part of our program, you can always come back. I mean, so we will want you to go out and enjoy yourself and have a good job like Tyree. If I had to put some money on, you know, somebody right now, it would be her. And definitely Priscilla, but this young lady here, she's gonna be working for Microsoft one of these days. They'll probably have her own Microsoft going on, you know. But yeah, they're always welcome to come back. And you know, I love to be able to go in a store or a bank later on and, you know, say, hey, I know that manager, you know, and you know, they probably would give me good treatment because we're so close. But yeah, I think that we're just a happy family in that sense, and I think Emily sets the tone for that. And I think the young women could tell you that once they come to our program, I mean, we do some serious work, but they can always know that they can always come back, and we're going to be there to support them.
And their expectations of, you know, following the rules, knowing what you have to do,
Absolutely.
Getting up, getting there, doing your homework assignments. But there's a nurturing quality to it. How do people get in touch with you?
Well, you could call us in Yonkers, and you could also, in fact, we forgot to mention Christine. We'll speak to a wonderful, our secretarial person who's there. Her name is Christine. In fact, she runs the whole show. So you could call 914-965-9140. And probably the person you're going to be speaking with is Christine. And she's absolutely wonderful as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Well, I thank the three of you, and I wish you two the best of luck. And
Thank you.
I know, Donovan, you have a very rewarding job.
Oh, yeah.
And so I will look forward to the 2002 graduation class and graduation ceremony.
And actually, we're going to give you a special invitation because we're going to put on a nice
I
program
heard
at the
about
end.
that. Well, that'll be another show. I want to let everyone know that if you haven't gotten the numbers and you need information about WJCS programs, You can call us at 761-0600, and we'll be happy to refer you to a different start or to our home health training program. And you can also call and order a copy of our newest edition of Everyone Counts, which is our winter newsletter, and that will update you on everything that's new at WJCS. I thank you for viewing, and good night.